I'm Daniel, a 42-year-old architect with a penchant for precision. My wife, Clara, 39, is a curator at a local art gallery, her world a swirl of colors and emotions that balance my structured existence. We've been married for 12 years, our home in Portland a sanctuary of shared dreams. But lately, there's a tremor in our rhythm. Clara's laughter, once a melody, now carries a sharp edge. Her phone, once an afterthought, is now a constant companion, its screen lighting her face in the dark. I notice her lingering glances at it, her fingers dancing in secretive patterns. I tell myself it's work, her gallery's latest exhibit, a chaotic blend of modern sculptures, demands her attention. Yet, the air feels heavy, like a blueprint missing a crucial line. Our evenings, once filled with shared stories over wine, now hum with silence. Clara's excuses pile up. Late-night meetings, artist consultations, a sudden fascination with avant-garde painters. I nod, trusting her, but my gut churns. One night, I catch her smiling at a message, her eyes alight with a warmth I haven't seen in months. "Work," she says, too quickly, tucking the phone away. I don't press, but the seed of doubt takes root. I start noticing patterns. Her perfume lingers longer, her wardrobe shifts to bolder hues, her schedule erratic. I'm not a jealous man, but the math doesn't add up. My mind, trained to spot flaws in designs, begins to sketch a different picture. I decide to observe, not accuse. I track her routines, noting the times she leaves, the galleries she claims to visit. I check her social media, where cryptic posts about new inspirations appear. One evening, she mentions a meeting with a sculptor named Julian, a rising star in her art world. His name lingers in my thoughts, a splinter I can't dislodge. I Google him, tall, charismatic, his Instagram a parade of gallery shots and brooding selfies. Something about him feels off, like a line drawn in the wrong shade. I don't confront Clara, but I start cross-referencing her schedule with gallery events. The discrepancies grow. Nights she's working late, when the gallery's dark. Mornings she returns smelling faintly of cedarwood. Not her usual jasmine. My trust phrase, but I cling to logic. Clara's not the type to stray. She's principled, her heart anchored in our vows. Yet the evidence mounts, subtle but undeniable. A receipt for a coffee shop she never mentioned. A hairpin that's not hers in her coat pocket. I feel like a surveyor mapping a fault line, each clue a crack in our foundation. I don't want to believe it, but the truth is taking shape, and it's not the portrait I expected. Julian's name becomes a ghost in our home, haunting my thoughts. Clara mentions him casually, too casually, weaving him into stories about gallery openings or artist talks. Julian's work is revolutionary, she says one night, her voice bright with admiration. I nod, sipping my scotch, but my mind races. I dig deeper, scouring his online presence. His art is bold, twisted metal and raw canvas, visceral in a way that feels invasive. His posts hint at a life of late nights, smoky bars, and fleeting connections. I wonder what Clara sees in him, what draws her to his chaos when our life is so ordered. I start tailing her discreetly. One evening, she says she's meeting a client at a downtown gallery. I wait outside, parked across the street, my heart a metronome. The gallery's lights dim early, but Clara doesn't emerge. Instead, I see her slip out a side door with a man. Tall, lean, unmistakably Julian. They don't touch, but their proximity screams intimacy, a silent language I can't decode. They vanish into a wine bar, and I sit frozen, my breath shallow. I don't follow. I can't bear to see more. My mind paints vivid scenes, her laughter, his hand brushing hers, a shared glance that betrays our years together. Back home, I sift through our shared accounts, looking for clues. A charge for a boutique hotel catches my eye, dated a week ago when Clara claimed to be at a conference. The receipt, emailed to our joint account, lists a single occupant but a double occupancy rate. My chest tightens. I cross-check her calendar. No conference, just a vague, out-of-town note. The betrayal takes shape, not in grand gestures but in these quiet omissions, each one a brick in a wall between us. I confront her that night, keeping my tone even. "How was the conference?" I ask, watching her face. She hesitates, then spins a story about a last-minute cancellation. Her eyes dart away, and I know she's lying. I don't push. I'm not ready for the truth to shatter us. Instead, I retreat to my study, where blueprints and contracts once grounded me. Now they mock my blindness. I pour another drink, the burn steadying my resolve. I need proof, something undeniable, before I act. The next day, I hire a private investigator, a discreet professional recommended by a colleague. I give him Clara's schedule, Julian's name, and a photo of them from a gallery event I found online. He nods, no judgment in his eyes, and promises results within a week. As he leaves, I feel a strange relief, like I've outsourced my paranoia. But the waiting is agony. I oscillate between rage and denial, imagining Clara's voice explaining it all away, restoring our equilibrium. Yet, deep down, I know the fault line is widening, and I'm standing on crumbling ground. The investigator works fast, his updates clinical but damning. Within days, he sends photos. Clara and Julian at a rooftop bar, their heads close, her hand resting on his arm. Another shows them entering that boutique hotel, her smile unguarded, his hand at her waist. The images burn into my retinas, each one a betrayal sharper than the last. The investigators report details their meetings. 3 times in 2 weeks, always when I thought Clara was working. He notes Julian's reputation. Charismatic, unattached, a collector of fleeting affairs. Clara, it seems, is his latest muse. I study the photos, searching for signs of coercion or doubt in Clara's expression. But there's none. She looks alive, radiant, in a way she hasn't with me in years. It's not just physical. It's emotional, a connection that cuts deeper than any fleeting encounter. I feel hollow, my identity as her husband unraveling. Our marriage, once a blueprint of mutual trust, now feels like a draft discarded mid-design. I wonder when it started, how I missed the shift. Was it my long hours at the firm? My focus on projects over her heart? I dig into Julian's world, learning his habits. He's a creature of ego, thriving on attention, his art a mirror of his narcissism. Clara's gallery is his current stage, her influence boosting his career. I realize she's not just betraying me but her own principles, propping up a man whose talent is half pose. The betrayal stings anew, not just personal but professional, a violation of the integrity she's always championed. I keep up appearances at home, though it's torture. Clara senses nothing, her demeanor breezy, her lies seamless. Over dinner, she chats about a new exhibit, mentioning Julian again, and I grip my fork too tightly. I want to scream, to upend the table and demand answers, but I hold back. Revenge is forming in my mind, not impulsive but calculated, a plan as precise as any structure I've designed. I won't confront her yet. I need her to feel secure, oblivious to the storm I'm drafting. Nights are the worst. Lying beside her, I replay the photos, her laughter with him, the ease of her deceit. Sleep eludes me, replaced by visions of retribution. I imagine exposing them, humiliating Julian in his own world, stripping Clara of the life she's taken for granted. But I need more than evidence. I need a strategy that wounds as deeply as I've been wounded. I start sketching ideas not on paper but in my mind, a plan to dismantle their affair and their reputations, brick by meticulous brick. Revenge, I decide, must be architectural, structured, deliberate, devastating. I spend days researching, my architect's mind framing the betrayal as a flawed design to be demolished. Julian's career is my first target. His art, while celebrated, rests on hype, propped up by Clara's endorsements and her gallery's prestige. I start planting seeds of doubt. Using an anonymous account, I post on art forums, questioning the originality of his work, citing obscure influences he's never credited. I leak subtle hints of his manipulative charm, framing him as a predator of patrons' trust. Next, I target Clara's professional standing. Her gallery thrives on her reputation for integrity, a curator who champions substance over flash. I draft a letter, and signed, to the gallery's board, hinting at conflicts of interest in her promotion of Julian. I don't accuse outright. I pose questions, letting their imaginations do the rest. I mail it from a neighboring city, ensuring no trace leads back to me. The art world is a small, gossipy sphere. Doubt spreads like ink in water. I also gather more evidence, working with the investigator to track their movements. He captures audio from a cafe, Clara's voice soft as she tells Julian, "Daniel's so predictable, he'd never suspect." The words gut me, but they fuel my resolve. I compile a dossier, photos, receipts, timelines, everything meticulously organized. It's not for confrontation but for leverage, a weapon I'll wield when the moment's right. I imagine Clara's face when she sees it, her world collapsing as mine has. At home, I play the devoted husband, a role that chokes me. Clara's oblivious, planning a weekend getaway for us. But I suspect it's a cover for time with Julian. I agree, feigning enthusiasm, while quietly accessing her phone when she showers. Her messages with Julian are coded but damning, emojis, vague plans, a shorthand of intimacy. I screenshot everything, my hands steady despite the rage boiling inside. Each discovery sharpens my plan, a blueprint of ruin taking form. I also befriend a journalist, a contact from a past project, who covers the art scene. Over drinks, I plant a story idea, a feature on ethical lapses in galleries, with Clara's as a case study. I'm careful, framing it as industry chatter, not personal vendetta. He bites, sensing a scoop. I know his article, when published, will cast a shadow over Clara's career, one she won't shake easily. The pieces are aligning, my revenge a structure rising from the wreckage of our marriage. My plan begins to bear fruit, slow but satisfying. The anonymous forum posts gain traction, with art critics and bloggers picking up the thread about Julian's derivative work. A prominent reviewer publishes a piece questioning his authenticity, and his Instagram comments turn hostile. I watch his followers drop, his confidence fraying in petulant replies. Clara notices, her mood tense as she fields calls from the gallery. "It's just a rough patch," she tells me, but her eyes betray worry. I nod, masking my satisfaction. The letter to the gallery board has its effect. The investigator, posing as a concerned patron, overhears board members discussing Clara's questionable priorities at a fundraiser. They're auditing her decisions, scrutinizing her promotion of Julian. She comes home rattled, claiming office politics. But I see the strain in her forced smile. I offer sympathy, pouring her wine, while inwardly I marvel at how seamlessly my design is unfolding. The fault line I sensed months ago is now a chasm, and she's teetering on its edge. Julian's behavior shifts, too. The investigator reports he's paranoid, snapping at gallery staff, suspecting leaks. He and Clara meet less often, their encounters rushed, furtive. I savor the irony. She's losing him to the very ego she admired. I keep the dossier updated, adding fresh evidence. A florist's receipt for roses she never brought home, a late-night Uber ride to Julian's loft. Each detail is a nail in the coffin of their affair, and I'm the carpenter. The journalist's article is in progress, he tells me, set to publish in a month. He's digging into Clara's gallery, interviewing staff, sniffing out favoritism. I feed him just enough, anonymous tips about unprofessional conduct, to keep him hooked without exposing myself. The story will be a slow bleed, tarnishing her name in the art world she loves. I imagine her reading it, her pride crumbling, her betrayal laid bare for colleagues to judge. At home, Clara's distraction grows. She cancels our getaway, citing work, and I don't protest. I'm patient, my revenge a long game. Lying awake, I refine the final phase, public exposure, timed for maximum impact. I picture a gallery event, Clara and Julian basking in spotlight, only for my dossier to surface, projected for all to see. The humiliation will be surgical, their facades stripped away. But I'm not there yet. For now, I watch the cracks spread, my heart a strange mix of pain and purpose. The structure of our marriage is gone. In its place, I'm building something new, a monument to her betrayal and my retribution. The cracks in Clara's world widen, and I'm the invisible force prying them apart. Julian's reputation is crumbling faster than I anticipated. A second critic, emboldened by the online chatter, publishes a scathing review, accusing him of plagiarizing lesser-known artists. The art world, ever fickle, turns on him. His gallery bookings dry up, and I hear through my investigator that he's drinking heavily, his charm replaced by desperation. Clara tries to shield him, but her efforts only draw scrutiny. The gallery board's audit intensifies, questioning her financial decisions, particularly payments to Julian for consulting. She's unraveling, her composure fraying like a poorly stitched seam. I escalate my plan, targeting their emotional bond. Using a burner phone, I send Julian anonymous texts, cryptic messages hinting that Clara's loyalty is divided, that she's using him for her own gain. Ask her about the board's audit. One reads, I know his paranoia will do the rest. The investigator confirms it. Julian confronts Clara. Their meetings now tense, laced with accusations. She denies everything, but doubt festers. I imagine her pleading, her voice cracking, and it fuels me. Their affair, once a flame, is now ash, and I'm the wind scattering it. At home, Clara's distraction is palpable. She forgets appointments, leaves dishes unwashed, her curated life in disarray. I play the concerned husband, asking gentle questions she deflects with excuses. Just stress, she murmurs, but her eyes are hollow. I feel a pang of guilt. Our years together weren't all lies, but it's fleeting. Her betrayal erased the man who loved her. Now, I'm an architect of ruin, my blueprint nearing completion. I refine the final act, a public unmasking that will leave them both exposed. The gallery's annual gala, a glittering event in 3 weeks, is the perfect stage. Clara's organizing it, and Julian's work, despite his fading star, is featured. I plan to infiltrate the event, not as myself but as a shadow, leaking my dossier to the right people at the right moment. I test the logistics, mapping the venue, noting security blind spots. Every detail matters. Failure isn't an option. The journalist's article is nearly ready, he tells me over coffee. He's uncovered enough to paint Clara as reckless, her favoritism toward Julian a breach of ethics. I nudge him toward a sharper angle, hinting at personal entanglements without crossing into libel. The article will hit days before the gala, priming the audience for my reveal. I lie awake, visualizing the fallout. Clara's disgrace, Julian's exile, my revenge a structure that stands eternal. Julian's downfall accelerates, and I'm the unseen catalyst. I leak doctored emails, carefully forged to look authentic, suggesting he's been siphoning gallery funds for personal use. The emails surface on an art gossip blog, and the response is swift. His remaining patrons pull support, and a minor collector sues him for fraud. The investigator sends me a photo of Julian outside a bar, disheveled, his eyes bloodshot. I feel no pity, only the cold satisfaction of a plan well executed. Clara's caught in the crossfire. The gallery board suspends her pending a full investigation, citing concerns over fiduciary responsibility. She comes home pale, her hands trembling as she pours wine. It's a misunderstanding, she insists, but her voice wavers. I nod, feigning concern, while inwardly I tally the damage. Her career, her identity is tied to that gallery. Losing it will gut her, and I'm the one wielding the knife. I intensify the psychological pressure. I leave subtle clues around the house. A receipt for a restaurant she visited with Julian, slipped into her purse. A printed article about his scandals, tucked in a book she's reading. She notices, her glances darting, but she says nothing. I want her paranoid, questioning her own secrets. The investigator reports she's hired a lawyer, a sign she's bracing for impact. Good. Let her scramble. It won't save her. I meet with a tech consultant, a discreet expert in event systems. I outline my gala plan, projecting my dossier, photos, messages, receipts, onto the venue screens during Clara's speech. He agrees to rig the system for a price, no questions asked. I test the dossier's format, ensuring every image is stark, every text undeniable. The reveal will be a spectacle, the art world's elite witnessing her shame in real time. Nights are sleepless, my mind a whirlwind of logistics and rage. Clara sleeps beside me, oblivious, her breathing soft. I study her face, searching for the woman I married. But she's gone, replaced by a stranger who chose Julian's chaos over our stability. My revenge isn't just for me. It's for the life we built, the vows she discarded. I'm no monster, I tell myself, just a man balancing the scales. The gala looms, 2 weeks away, and my preparations are meticulous. I visit the venue under a false name, posing as a donor, and memorize its layout, exits, lighting, the control room where my tech consultant will work. I rehearse the timing. Clara's speech, the crowd's attention, the screens flickering to life with my dossier. I imagine the gasps, the whispers, her frozen in spotlight. The cruelty of it thrills me, a dark pulse I can't suppress. Clara's suspension isolates her. Friends distance themselves, sensing scandal. She spends hours on calls, pleading her case, but the art world's loyalty is thin. I overhear her crying in the bathroom, a sound that once would have broken me. Now it's confirmation her world is collapsing. I leave another clue, a hotel keycard, tucked in her coat pocket, and watch her find it, her face paling. She's unraveling, and I'm the architect of her descent. Julian's spiraling too. The investigator tracks him to a cheap motel, his loft repossessed. He's a pariah, his name toxic. I send another anonymous text. She's throwing you under the bus to save herself. I know it'll push him to confront her, fracturing their trust further. The investigator confirms a heated argument outside her gallery, Julian shouting, Clara retreating. Their bond is dust and I'm the storm. The journalist's article is finalized, set to publish in days. He shares a draft, and it's brutal, Clara's bias toward Julian framed as a betrayal of trust, with hints of personal involvement. It'll prime the gala's attendees, their suspicions ripe for my reveal. I pay the tech consultant half up front, ensuring his silence. Every move is calculated, my revenge a machine humming toward its purpose. I feel the weight of what's coming. Clara's betrayal carved a void in me, but this plan fills it, giving shape to my pain. I'm not proud of the man I've become, but I'm not ashamed either. She chose this path. I'm just paving it to its end. The journalist's article hits, a digital bombshell. Headlined, Curator's Favoritism Raises Ethical Questions. It dissects Clara's promotion of Julian, citing unnamed sources and financial irregularities. The comments section erupts, art insiders speculating about personal ties. Clara's name trends on social media, not for acclaim but for scandal. She reads it at breakfast, her phone trembling in her hands. This is slander, she whispers, but her eyes glisten with fear. I murmur condolences, my face a mask of concern, while my pulse races with victory. The article's ripple effect is immediate. The gallery board extends her suspension, hinting at termination. Colleagues unfollow her online, their silence louder than words. She tries rallying support, but her calls go unanswered. I watch her pace our living room, her confidence eroded. I leave another planted clue, a printed email between her and Julian, vague but suggestive, on her desk. She finds it, freezes, then burns it in the sink, unaware I have copies. Julian's reaction is Messier. The investigator catches him drunk, ranting about Clara's betrayal to a bartender. My texts worked, he believes she's scapegoating him. He leaves her voicemails, accusing her of sabotage, and she stops answering. Their affair, once a secret haven, is now a battlefield, and I'm the unseen general orchestrating the chaos. I finalize gala logistics with the tech consultant. He's installed a backdoor in the venue's AV system, ready to override the screens with my dossier. I test the projection on my laptop. The image is stark. Clara and Julian at the hotel, her hand on his, their smiles a betrayal frozen in time. The texts, the receipts. It's a narrative of deceit no one can deny. I pay the consultant's balance, my savings dwindling but worth it for this reckoning. The art world buzzes with the article's fallout, priming the gala's audience for drama. I feel the crescendo building, my revenge a symphony nearing its climax. Clara's suffering is palpable, but it's not enough. Not yet. The night before the gala, Clara's a ghost of herself. She barely eats, her eyes red from crying. The board's latest email, forwarded to our joint account by mistake, threatens legal action if irregularities are confirmed. She doesn't know I saw it, doesn't know I'm the one who tipped them off. I offer to help, suggesting a lawyer, but she waves me off, lost in her own dread. I plant one final clue, a photo of her and Julian, printed and slipped into her purse. She'll find it tomorrow, a prelude to the gala's ruin. Julian's vanished, the investigator losing his trail after a bar fight. Rumors swirl he's left town, his career dead. I don't care where he is, his role in my plan is done. The focus is Clara now, her public shaming hours away. I visit the venue one last time, confirming the tech setup. The consultant runs a test, my dossier flashing briefly on a screen. It's perfect, every detail razor sharp. I pack a suit for the gala, choosing black, fitting for a funeral. I'll blend into the crowd, an anonymous guest until the moment strikes. The dossier's on an encrypted drive, backed up twice. Nothing can derail this. Clara mentions the gala nervously, hoping it'll turn things around. I nod, hiding my smirk. It'll turn things, all right, into rubble. I lie awake, adrenaline surging. Tomorrow, Clara's world burns, and I'm the one striking the match. The cruelty of it doesn't haunt me. It liberates me. She chose Julian, chose deceit. Now she'll face the cost, and I'll be there watching her fall. The gala night arrives, a glittering facade masking my intent. I arrive at the venue, a sleek Portland gallery bathed in golden light, dressed in my black suit, a ghost among the art world's elite. Clara's in a crimson gown, her smile brittle as she greets guests. She doesn't see me. I'm just another face in the crowd of collectors, critics, and patrons. The air hums with anticipation, the scandal from the journalist's article lingering in hushed whispers. My pulse is steady, my encrypted drive secure in my pocket, the tech consultant ready in the control room. Clara's speech is scheduled for 9 p.m., the perfect moment for my reveal. I mingle, sipping champagne, overhearing snippets about her suspension, Julian's disgrace. The gallery screens loop promotional videos, but soon they'll display my dossier, photos, texts, receipts, a tapestry of her deceit. I check my watch, the minutes crawling. The investigator, stationed outside, texts. No sign of Julian. Good. This is Clara's reckoning alone. She takes the stage, her voice steady despite the strain in her eyes. She speaks of art's transformative power, her words polished but hollow. I nod to the consultant via a discreet earpiece, signaling readiness. The crowd claps, oblivious to the storm I'm about to unleash. I feel a flicker of doubt. Not for her, but for the man I was before this. Passes. She made her choice and I've made mine. The consultant confirms the system's primed. I move to a shadowed corner, my view clear. Clara's speech nears its end, her final thanks met with polite applause. I whisper, now. The screens flicker, the promotional loop replaced by the first image. Clara and Julian at the hotel, her hand on his, their intimacy undeniable. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Clara freezes, her face draining of color. The screens cycle, texts, receipts, the boutique hotel bill. Each slide a hammer blow to her facade. The room erupts in murmurs, phones raised to capture the spectacle. Clara stammers, trying to speak, but the screens drown her out. A board member storms the stage, demanding answers. I watch, emotionless, as her world collapses. The cruelty of it is surgical, her shame a public execution. I slip toward the exit, my role done, the dossier's truth speaking for itself. I leave the gala unnoticed, the chaos behind me a symphony of my design. Clara's speech dissolves into shouted questions, the crowd's shock turning to judgment. My investigator, still outside, reports she's escorted off stage, board members huddling in crisis mode. I drive home, the city lights blurring, my heart a strange mix of triumph and emptiness. The dossier's leak spreads online within hours, art blogs and social media amplifying the scandal. Clara's name is toxic now, her career in ruins. She doesn't come home that night. I learn later she's at a friend's, avoiding the press camped outside our house. The gallery fires her by morning, citing gross misconduct. The board statement is cold, referencing the dossier's evidence. Julian's absence is noted. He's rumored to have fled to Seattle, his name erased from the art world. I feel no joy, only the grim satisfaction of a blueprint executed flawlessly. I sift through the dossier one last time, ensuring no trace leads to me. The anonymous accounts, burner phones, and encrypted drives are destroyed, my tracks covered. The tech consultant, paid generously, vanishes into his own shadows. I'm untouchable, a specter who dismantled 2 lives without stepping into the light. Yet, the house feels hollow, Clara's absence a reminder of what was. I field calls from mutual friends, feigning shock at the revelations. They assume I'm a victim, betrayed by Clara's secret. I let them, my mask of grief convincing. The cruelty of my revenge lies not just in her public fall but in this private charade. I'm the wounded husband, untouched by suspicion. Clara tries calling once, her voicemail a broken plea to talk. I delete it, her voice a ghost I won't entertain. The art world moves on, but Clara's disgrace lingers, a cautionary tale. I start planning my next steps. Selling the house, leaving Portland, shedding the skin of this marriage. Revenge was my anchor. Now it's time to rebuild. 3 days later, Clara returns, her key trembling in the lock. She's a shadow of herself. Hair unkempt, eyes swollen, her crimson gown replaced by sweatpants. I'm in the kitchen, sipping coffee, my demeanor calm. She stares at me, searching for answers, but I give her nothing. Daniel, she whispers, how did this happen? Her voice cracks, and for a moment, I see the woman I loved. But the dossier's images flash in my mind, and my resolve hardens. She tries explaining, Julian was a mistake, a fleeting escape from our routine. She swears it meant nothing, that she loves me. Her words are desperate, but they're too late, a bridge burned to ash. I listen, silent, letting her unravel. She doesn't suspect my role, doesn't see the architect behind her ruin. I tell her I need space, that the betrayal is too raw. She nods, tears falling, and packs a bag to stay elsewhere. I watch her leave, the finality settling in. My revenge isn't just the gala's spectacle. It's this, her isolation, her belief she's lost me through her own failures. The cruelty lies in her ignorance, her thinking she could salvage us. I start boxing her things, each item a relic of a life I'm dismantling. The house, once ours, will be sold, its memories erased. I meet the journalist for a final drink, thanking him for the article that set the stage. He's oblivious to my hand in it, chasing his next story. I'm a ghost in this too, my fingerprints invisible. The art world's gossip fades, but Clara's name remains tainted. Her gallery job offers non-existent. Julian's gone, his art unsellable. My plan's precision leaves no loose ends. I sleep better now, the rage that fueled me cooling into purpose. Clara's suffering is my monument, a structure that stands in the wreckage of our vows. Weeks pass, and I refine the final twist of my revenge, a parting blow to ensure Clara's pain endures. I learn she's living in a small apartment, scraping by on freelance work, her reputation too toxic for galleries. Through a contact, I arrange for her to receive an anonymous package. Inside is a curated album, a mock art catalog titled The Muse's Fall. Its pages mirror the dossier. Photos of her and Julian, their messages, receipts, but styled like an exhibit, each image captioned with biting commentary. The curator's misstep. One reads, beside a hotel photo, Art of Deceit. Another over a text exchange. I imagine her opening it, the glossy pages cutting deeper than any confrontation. The catalog's final page is a blank canvas, labeled Her Legacy. It's cruel, yes, but fitting. She built her betrayal, and I framed it as her defining work. I ensure it's mailed from a distant city, untraceable, a ghost's parting gift. The investigator confirms she received it. She's seen leaving her apartment, distraught, the package clutched tight. I sell the house, the deal closing swiftly. I donate Clara's remaining belongings, her curated art, her designer clothes, to a thrift shop, erasing her presence. The proceeds fund my move to Seattle, a city where no one knows our story. I start a new firm, my designs sharper, infused with the clarity revenge brought me. Clara's voicemails stop. She's given up, or so I hope. Julian resurfaces briefly, his name tied to a failed pop-up show in Tacoma. It flops, his art mocked online. I feel nothing for him. He was a tool in Clara's betrayal, now discarded. My revenge's cruelty wasn't just in their public fall but in its permanence. Neither will recover. Their worlds reshaped by my hand. I visit the old gallery one last time, now under new management. Clara's name is absent, her exhibits replaced. I smile, the weight of my plan lifting. I've won not just against her but against the pain she caused. 6 months later, I'm settled in Seattle, my life rebuilt. My firm thrives, my designs earning praise for their bold precision. I'm not the man Clara knew. Her betrayal forged someone harder, sharper. I don't date, don't seek love. Trust is a luxury I can't afford. My nights are quiet, spent sketching or reading, the dossier's images fading from my mind. Clara's a memory, her fate a faint echo. The investigator, still on retainer, reports she's left Portland, working remotely for a small arts nonprofit. Her name's still whispered in scandal. The catalog I sent haunts her. She's withdrawn, her spark gone. Julian's vanished again, his art forgotten. My revenge was total, a structure that stands unyielding. I walk Seattle's waterfront. The Puget Sound vast and indifferent. The cruelty of my plan doesn't haunt me. It was justice, a balancing of scales. Clara chose Julian, chose deceit, and I chose retribution. Our marriage was a blueprint flawed from the start, its collapse inevitable. I've built something new in its place, not love, not trust, but purpose. I keep one memento, a photo from our early years, Clara laughing in a park. I don't look at it often, but it reminds me why I acted. Not out of hate, but necessity. I'm Daniel, the architect, and my greatest work wasn't a building. It was the ruin of those who broke me.